So, I decided to create a brand new account to see how many platinum trophies can I get by the end of the year. So in today's video, I'll be going for Stellar Blade's platinum trophy to see if this game is really good for its gameplay or for its plot. Stellar Blade has a total of 43 trophies, but it has 2 bonus trophies that I'll be doing as well, making it 45 trophies. So enough being said, let's start with We start with the story with the 7 airborne squad making their way towards Earth to take out all of the Alpha Natibas and reclaim Earth. We then get introduced to the main reason why everybody's buying this game, Eve. With her squad mate Taki, they start making their way towards the first Alpha Natiba. Once we make it, we see that the rest of our squad members is getting completely destroyed by the Alpha Natiba. So we go in to help, which leads us into our very first boss fight of the game.
Here comes a new challenger!
And it was super easy. I mean, it's not that hard to dodge big red balls. Pause. Once we defeat it, we found out that that wasn't actually the Alpha Natiba, but this is actually the Alpha Natiba. This freaky bird lady. Which then kills Taki as she sacrificed herself for Eve to get away. We then move on to the area named Edos 5, where we get introduced to a guy named Adam. Yep, we just move on like that. Anyways, we start making our way towards the first hyperdrive, which will be used to give power to one of the last known cities named Zion. After taking out a few enemies, we stop by a camp, which gives us our very first trophy, camp preparation, after activating our very first camp. Anyways, after testing out some freaky game mechanics, we then make our way to the parking garage, where we see another enemy Natiba, and this leads us into another boss fight.
Here comes a new challenger!
And I really enjoyed this boss fight. The attack animation for this boss looked amazing, especially when you go into his second phase, where he just becomes fucking Zeus all of a sudden. It controls fucking lightning and shoots it at you. I also really like the design for this boss. Too bad we split the boss in half once we beat it.
Fatality.
Anyways, we got the trophy after defeating this boss. Anyways, we continue our journey towards the hyperdrive, and after dying to one of the hardest enemies of this game, fall damage, we then make it to the Hall of Records, where the hyperdrive is supposed to be. So once we make our way inside, we then get hit with a bunch of lore. Too much lore. Jesus Christ, I'm not about to explain all of this. We then grab the hypercell and make our way out of there. Once we make our way out, we then encounter another boss fight, which was honestly, this was mid, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But his trophy for defeating it wasn't. Moving on, after climbing this conveniently long ladder, we continue our journey making our way towards Zion. Stopping by a construction site, this is where Eve discovers her love for collecting cans.
What is this? It doesn't seem useful. It looks intriguing.
And this ties in with a trophy where you have to collect 49 cans. But we'll come back to that. I also found another pass away airborne squad member in which Eve takes their soul, I guess. And that enhances either our health or beta, which we'll also need for trophies as well. While continuing making our way to Zion, we find a 5th airborne squad member's drop pod. But just before we can really investigate it, we then get into another boss fight.
Here comes a new challenger!
Again, really good boss fight, though I don't have much to say for this one. Other than he hit me with this combo that took my ass straight back to the main menu. After we defeat the boss, we then get the trophy for doing so. We also get an alpha core that will help us in our journey later. While opening up the drop pod, we actually find someone in there. It was a girl named Lily, and she's a part of the 5th Airborne Squad.
Lily Artemis II. But you can just call me Lily.
Oi, is she fucking British? Anyways, we start making our way towards Zion. And once we get there, we can see that, well, the city kind of looks like shit. So then we make our way towards an elder guy named Oracle that I completely forgot what he does. So, once we put in the hypercell, the city starts to get a little bit of power, though we are going to need more of them. After that, Lily then gives our drone an upgrade where it can now have a second amendment mode, and then we start making our way towards the Atlas Lavore so that we can go ahead and get the next hypercell. But before we can make our way inside, we can stop by this
God damn.
We then had to fight the guard to prove that we're qualified to go inside. So after slapping her titties around and getting my titties slapped, we then proved that we are qualified to go inside. Once we make our way down, we find out that we can't even use our blade. So we're gonna have to use our second amendment. This whole session basically just played like a Resident Evil game, especially when we make our way through the whole entire area, and this is the boss we have to fight. Looks something straight out of Resident Evil. So after a bunch of exploding bodies, terrible platforming, what the quirky puzzles, and a laser room that instantly kills you once you touch it, we go ahead and take on this hideous beast. And after we defeat it and get the hyperdrive, we get the trophy, Atlas of Var. But just before we leave, we find something called a legacy that another Air Squad board member named Raven left behind. She then starts yapping about some lore, but it hurts my zoomer brain too much if it doesn't involve anything with skibbity toilet. So we quickly turn it off and make our way back towards Zion. I swear I don't watch Skibbity Toilet. We then put the hypercell inside of the hyperdrive, giving the city more power. Making our way back towards the safe house, Lily then creates an alpha signal device so that it will be easier to find the alpha Nutibas. And Lily gave Eve a quick smack on the ass, which gives her the ability to double jump. Now that we're done with all of our preparations, we can go ahead and make our way towards Matrix 11 to find the next Alpha Natiba. Once we make our way inside of Matrix 11, we continue our hunt looking for the next Alpha Natiba. And after a long journey, we then move on to the next fight against this chainsaw head thing.
Here comes a new challenger!
And this fight was probably the easiest out of all of them because I did play it during the demo, so I kind of knew all of his moves. And so once we take it down, we get the trophy for defeating it. Continuing our journey to find the Alpha Natiba, we then had to do some puzzles that I swear to God, I thought we left this in Spider-Man Remastered, in which I will also be making a Platinum Trophy video on. So you should definitely subscribe so you won't miss out on it. Anyways, moving on, we go right into the next boss fight.
Here comes a new challenger!
And I'll have to say, this was the first boss I actually had a challenge on. His moves were kinda unpredictable, especially when he mixed up from fast attacks to slow attacks. You also have a lot of aerial moves that catches you off guard when you least expect it, especially when you think you dodged that attack and really no, it fucking touch your foot. Anyways, after taking it out, we get the trophy for doing so. Moving on, we did get caught in a trap filled with Natibas, so after one quick time event, what the fuck are you saying? Bro's moaning for no reason. We then had to make her escape through this gear contraption that, what's the point of having this here in a facility? Like, nobody can get through here, so what's the point? Anyways, after totally not missing that fucking bar, we then rest at a camp before fighting the Alpha Natiba that is just upstairs. We also find another legacy that's gonna start yapping about some more lore later. But don't worry, I'll throw up some Subway Surfers if you start getting bored. Anyways, we then make our way towards the Alpha Natiba, but before the fight even starts, we then get hit with an ultimate attack of Sexy Red's music. But then we got ourselves back together and it was time to fight Taki. Damn, she bad though. I let her use those robotic legs to squish my head any day of the week.
Here comes a new challenger!
The whole entire atmosphere for this boss fight is amazing, especially for the design of Taki. So this fight was pretty easy, as at this point I pretty much knew all the game mechanics. And I was basically a pro at this game, and I definitely won't struggle with any other boss fights. Pause for a second. While I was editing this, I saw this freaky frame of Taki's eye literally becoming her face. Like, you can only see this for like a millisecond. Like, even though she's some weird eyeball demon, she's still bad as hell though. Anyways, after we sadly take her out, Eve then says her final goodbyes to Taki.
May your memories live on. Forever.
What a great time to get a trophy. Once we make our way back to Zion, Oracle then starts yapping about lore, and my zoomer brain can't handle it. Ugh, get the Subway Surfers! Continuing on, you should know the drill by this point. We have to go get another hypercell, but this time is at the Abyss of War inside of the Great Desert. But this is pretty much the same thing as the Atlas of War, so at the same time, I'm just gonna go ahead and show the trophy. Once we put in the hypercell, we then have to go into outer space to take out the final Alpha Natiba, so that we can use all the alpha cores that we collected to create a master core, which will get us inside the nest to fight the elder Natiba. Oh my lord, this part of the story is long. Anyways, we make it to Spire 4 so that we can get into the orbital elevator, which will take us straight into space. So while I was running around exploring, I noticed that Eve voice lines were a little different while picking up a fallen squad member's soul. Eve usually says this,
May your memories live on forever.
but when Eve figures out that she's an android and Mother Spirit is lying, she will now say this.
Now, I don't feel like praying.
I thought that was a nice bit of detail. Anyways, once we make it through the hypertube, in which I definitely did not die during this minigame, twice, we then encounter another Nativa, which leads us into a boss fight.
Here comes a new.
See you later. Well, there goes that. Moving on, after making our way through the shipyard filled with fucking turrets for some reason, we then make it to, nope, fuck this part of the game. Are you fucking sick? We then make it to the orbital elevator, but first we had to turn on the power for it. So we go ahead and make our way towards the power and...
Here comes a new challenger.
not running away like a little bitch this time. Fighting this dual-wielding beast, this fight was actually pretty fun. Yeah, I was actually kind of struggling on this boss fight. In each phase, this boss goes right back to full health. But once I figure out all of his attack patterns and, well, you know, God mode, we then power up our second amendment and take out this beast. God, it feels so good to be fucking American. Anyways, after that, we get the trophy for taking it out. After we get the power on, we start making our way up and up and up to the point where we get introduced to a new character named... never mind. And after that, we go into another boss fight.
Here comes a new challenger.
Now, don't get me wrong, the atmosphere of this boss fight looks amazing. It's just that the boss fight's kind of meh. I mean, it does have a laser that's not really that hard to dodge. Unless, you know, you're trying to move away from these super bombers from blowing you up, and she conveniently uses her laser right then and there, so that's great. Anyways, while fighting this boss for the second time, I got the trophy Nativa Hunter for defeating 100 enemies with beta skills, and then right after we defeat her, we get the trophy for doing so. Anyways, after that boss fight, we finally make it to space. And right afterwards, we get into another boss fight. Wow, you don't give us a fucking break at all.
Here comes a new challenger.
Not gonna lie, this boss fight is mid. I have been struggling for the past hour trying to figure out what to say about this boss fight other than getting the trophy named Agile Gladiator after performing 300 parry attacks against enemies. And right after that, we finish up this boss fight, but we don't get a trophy yet as this boss is a little bit upset about my comments earlier, and well... Flying through space, we finally see the Alpha Nativa. What the fuck?
Here comes a new challenger.
Powering up our second amendment, we go ahead and start taking shots at the thing that looks like something straight out of Dead Space. We then fully charged up and take this thing out. But we got a little bit of a problem as Eve starts to get a little sleepy and starts falling towards Earth. And fall damage being the strongest enemy of this game, she's definitely not surviving that. So Lily calls for some support from the colony and they bring in a fucking mech. And it catches Eve so that Eve won't die to fall damage. And we get another trophy. Once we make it back down to Earth, Lily then gives Eve a hug. Lily then explains that she hasn't been able to contact Adam as he's been a level 1 soy boy for way too long. So we quickly make our way towards Zion as one of his side quests might be there, but we see Zion being completely destroyed. Lily then tells us that she detects an Alpha Nativa nearby. So we quickly make our way towards the Alpha Nativa to stop it, and we find out that it was the Nativa that killed Taki, the freaky bird lady. Alright, we got like 2 more boss fights we still gotta get through, and this boss fight is not that interesting to go over, so yep, keep it going. Yep, that's perfect. And after taking her out, we come to find out that this whole time, this freaky bird lady was Raven. Anyways, this dude calls us over and tells us to go to Oracle. Once we make it to Oracle, we see that he's not looking so good, like, at all. We find out that Oracle is also an Alpha Nativa, as he gives us the last Alpha Core we need to make the Master Core, which we can now make our way towards the nest. Once we get there, we find another legacy of Raven yapping. But who cares about that when she's literally standing right there? Whoa. Anyways, boss fight time.
Here comes a new challenger.
Surprisingly enough, this boss fight actually wasn't hard. If we can ignore the fact that I died right here, then pretty much I didn't struggle at all. And before playing this, I see other people struggle with this boss fight, so I guess I could say I'm just a better gamer. Oh, my bad, God. I was, yeah, damn. Anyways, after we sadly take her out, we then make our way inside of the nest, and we get the trophy for defeating Raven. We were finally here at the nest, and it was time to take out the final boss, the Elder Natiba. Okay, what the fuck? So I guess while Adam was doing all them side quests, he got to be a level 50 Giga Chad, which allowed him to become the Elder Natiba. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, we then had to pick an ending. I decided to go for the ending in which we don't take Adam's hand to fuse together and become the ultimate life form, or some shit like that. And he didn't like that very much, as he hit us with a flashbang and what the fuck?
Here comes a new challenger!
And talk about a fucking difficulty spike, bro. His basic combos aren't really a problem. It's just everything else about this boss fight is ridiculous. First off, I don't know where the fuck he just got this damage boost, but you can literally drain your fucking health in an instant. Some of the attacks are super hard to read. Like, look at this attack. Like, you have a millisecond to react or you're cooked. And what hurts even more is that my very first attempt, I almost got him, but then I died to a fucking spirit bomb. Though the difficulty spike did come out of nowhere, I still enjoyed this boss fight, as this was the only boss fight that was truly a challenge. But after death, after death, after death, I finally pulled through. Come on, let's go. You got this. Come on. You got this, you got this. Finish it, finish it. Oh my god, finally. Oh, wait, quick time event, I'm ready. Come on, give me that quick time event. Damn. End this. Finish him. Finally, dude. We then get the trophy, return to the colony. Adam then dies. And then we quickly make our way out of the nest as it starts falling apart. And once we make our way outside, we then see Mother Spear as she sends us an airship to return to the colony, which gives us the good ending of the game, right? And we can now roll the credits. Long ass credits, jeez. And now that we're finished with the story, we can move on to starting off a brand new game inside of New Game Plus to get the New Game Plus trophy and getting one of the best suits in the game. We can now begin the grind for the rest of the trophies. I've been making my way through Edos 5. First trophy I got was Perfect Blood Edge after fully maxing out our blade. Then heading towards the wasteland, I spent majority of the time dodging enemies' attacks to then get the trophy Battlefield Martial Artist after perfect dodging 200 enemy attacks. After I finish up a quick quest where I help out this little dude named Digger get unstuck from this crane, and when I got done with the quest, I went ahead and used my burst ability on this enemy and I got the trophy Ruthless Destroyer after defeating 50 enemies with burst abilities. Next up was to sneak up on a bunch of enemies to get the trophy Silent Executioner after defeating 50 enemies by execution. Going back through the Atlas of War and stopping at a supply camp, I then got the trophy Perfect Exospine after fully upgrading 10 Exospines. While doing a side quest, we make our way down this pit where we have to fight the Brute once again. And after we defeat it, we get the trophy Brute. Continuing with the story, after consuming another soul, we then get the trophy Perfect Physical Enhancement after fully maxing out our health. Also, I forgot to add this trophy in the story as I completely skipped over this whole entire section. But after shooting a bunch of enemies down this hall, we get the trophy Cold-Blooded Sniper after defeating 150 enemies with our second amendment. After that, stopping by a camp again, we get the trophy Perfect Rechargeable Tumbler after we max out our health packs. While going through this sewer mission again, I actually got two trophies here. First trophy being Cruel Liberator after defeating 1,500 enemies. Right after that, consuming another soul, I got the trophy Perfect Beta Energy Enhancement after maxing out my beta energy. I don't think that's an accomplishment. Anyways, I made my way back to Zion, and after unlocking a new shop, I went on a shopping spree, spending all my money on a bunch of knowledge, which was also enough to get Lily's affinity up, which we can now do the secret mission and get the secret ending. But later on, I will regret making this decision this early. Anyways, going to start up a side quest, I then pick up a document, and after Adam and Eve stop yapping, I then get the trophy Records Collector after collecting all this stuff. Next trophy up was Revenging Agent after going back out in the wasteland and killing 50 enemies with Taki mode. I then went back to Digger, and after finishing up his storyline, I got the trophy, yeah, that's fucking words. I got the trophy Beat. Next storyline I did was Chaos, as we go figure out what happened to her sister. And once we find her sister's location, we then had to fight the behemoth. And after we take it down, we get the trophy for doing so. And then we find Chaos' sister. And well, she don't look so good. We then went back and told Kaya what happened, which then ends the storyline, giving us the trophy Sisterly Love. The last storyline I had to finish was Enya's Ensues. So after collecting a bunch of data from the opera house, we then find out that she used to be a lead singer. So we then tell her about her past, and that gives us the trophy Beyond Fate. And that ends the storyline with a little song. You know, I would play that whole song, but I just know my retention is just gonna drop. Anyways, next trophy I got was Box Hunter after 10 out of 10, yacht of the year, don't care what nobody says. Anyways, I went ahead and did the fishing side quest so I can have the ability to start fishing. And after spending about an hour catching 19 different types of fish, I then caught this big boy as my final fish and got the trophy Lonely Fisherman after collecting 20 different types of fish. And this fishing minigame was most definitely one of my favorite experiences in this game. Anyways, I then went ahead and did the secret mission, where we basically had to take out a bunch of cocoons. And that was it. Like, yeah, this mission wasn't really that interesting, like, at all. And this was actually the last enemy I needed to defeat in order to get the Natiba Research Trophy. But of course it didn't pop up because there was a bug where you'll be stuck at 64 even though you have all 67 data entries on the Natibas. But luckily, the game got patched the next day and I instantly got the trophy when I loaded into the game. Oh, thank God. Might have overreacted a little bit. Anyways, I found 2 more nano suit designs, which was enough suits for me to craft and get the trophy Nano Suit Collector after acquiring 30 nano suits. Then right after that, I activated one of the last camps and got the trophy Meticulous Explorer. We then finished up the mission and now we can do the secret ending. But before that, I got the trophy Thorough Technician after learning all skills. We then make it to the ending, and this is where I was talking about earlier, where I will regret making this decision of doing this secret ending first. My plan was to use PlayStation Plus so I can reload a save and do the other ending without having to play through a whole new game. But now I have to because the secret ending overrides the other ending. So that was a waste of $15. Not really, as I will also be getting the Platinum Trophy for Fallout 4. I'm leaving you a 1-star review, bitch.
I'm gonna make you suffer.
Did he just take a fucking nuke like it was nothing? So you should definitely subscribe so you won't miss out on that. I'm telling you, I am busting my ass making these videos. So I'll most definitely appreciate you showing support. Anyways, I then did the secret ending where Adam and Eve fuse together and becomes the ultimate light form. Or should I say the ultimate Gyat form. I'm so sorry. We then had to fight the mech that Lily's in as it sees us as a threat. After finishing the boss fight, we then get the trophy Making New Memories, and we also got the trophy Repeating Protocols after beating the game on New Game Plus. And somehow, while editing, I forgot another trophy. So I'm just gonna put it here because I can't really put it anywhere else. So after collecting all 49 soda cans, we then get the trophy Can Collector. Okay, final stretch. So after playing through the whole entire game once again, the last trophy I got before I got the final 2 trophies was Infinity Blade after unlocking all New Game Plus skills. And now it is finally time to get the Platinum Trophy. So after we defeat the mech again, we then...
Lily! Lily! Eve.
It's done. Let's go back. It's over.
You know, I prefer the
old Eve. But I don't want to become one with Mother Sphere. Lily!
We then get the trophy before the platinum, Costs of Lost Memories, and then we get the platinum trophy, Eve Protocol. Damn, what a sad way to get a platinum trophy, man. Maybe this might brighten the mood. Watching me platinum Final Fantasy VII Remake, I guarantee it will make you feel way better. Thank you all for watching. Next time I'll pick a better ending, and I'll see you in the next video.